Greetings, friends. So for those of you who don't know, I've had a lot going on lately. And what we're going to talk about here is the path forward. So I also stream on twitch.tv/VaryGoode. And yes, I know some of you are seeing this as a recording, but while live on that very channel. And to those of you who are there right now, thank you very much. You the real ones. We've been thinking about what to do here at Twitch on this channel for quite some time. And the real kicker of it is I've actually known, I've known for a long time where I wanted to go with this. So that's where we're going to break it down and explain it, and hopefully in not too long a fashion, because it's a big deal and we have a lot of things to premiere and talk about moving forward. So first of all, what are we going to do? Well, I've found for me, in terms of productivity, in terms of motivation, planning is a thing that I need to do. And with planning comes scheduling. So the way to do this for me is, instead of what people are used to as streams, we are instead going to move towards what I like to call episodic content. And a lot of people hear that word episodic and they think, well, that must mean shows. And if you think that, you're very smart and you're very correct. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about the shows that I am going to personally produce here on this channel. They're all going to star me, of course. I am, the best. But they will sometimes have guests and sometimes we'll have co-hosts. And they're all differently themed, but overall, the theme here that we're using on the channel is a theme called Outrun. It's very synthwave 80s. I am an 80s baby. I'm a 90s kid, but my brain still lived in the 80s. So you'll see a lot of elements from the Outrun style, and you'll probably notice them as an underlying theme for all of these shows. But overall, each show will have its very own identity, and that's what I want to introduce to you guys today. And this will all be under the umbrella of Very Good Entertainment. With that in mind, allow me to talk all about the shows, the lineups, and what we're thinking to do. Now, granted, not all of these shows will be every single week, and not all of these shows may even be every single month. Additionally, while we will have a relatively dedicated schedule, sometimes things can still happen. So this is not to be dependent on, just like if it was a TV network, but I'm hoping to make it damn well close. So let's talk all about the shows. So y'all might have recognized that. That, of course, is the show that started it all here on the channel. And what got me a panel at TwitchCon 2019, yes, that's right, Who Wants to Be a Twitchillionaire will be returning to the channel. I know I've said it before, but I mean it this time, okay? For real. We will be doing the show again. There will be versions where we have a guest on, and there will be versions where the chat is participating. So we are excited and happy to be able to do that. And a big giant shout out to my friend and moderator Sam. He's known as Henchman on Twitch. He did help a lot with the back end, pretty much wrote the whole dang thing so that we can run it through the chat. It's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it beyond the shadow of a doubt. And there we have a show that you might not realize we've already done. Formerly, this was called Streamers on Streaming, and we've only done one episode so far, but we are rebranding it as parasocial. For those of you who don't know, the typical name for the relationship a content creator has with their audience is called a parasocial relationship. And that relationship is one where you guys know a whole ton of things about me, but I don't really know much about you. And while you may think of me as someone who could be your friend, I most often don't think of you that same way. So the relationship is usually one-sided, hence parasocial. And on that show, we will still be talking with streamers about streaming and about content creation. And I really look forward to some of the very interesting discussions we'll be having on that show. And of course, we're going to talk about mental. But that isn't the only show where we will talk about mental. Let's take a look at the next one. That's right, you might have guessed it. We will be investigating our very own Headspace on the new show Headspace. That is our mental health focused show. I'm really excited about that one because a lot of my normal streams focused on mental health anyway. That will mostly have no guests, but time to time we will try to have some people who know what the hell they're talking about on, and I'm looking forward to being able to inform, maybe teach a little bit, do some exercises as in, you know, writing or thinking exercises so that we can really explore our headspace. Now, you might have recognized somebody in there, and she was also named by name. We are bringing back, of course, Confessions with our friend Ironic Pseudonym, who goes by Peepa, whose name is Shara, and she's a good friend of mine, and we are looking forward to reading your confessions. That's right, you who are in the live Twitch chat, or you who are responding to the form via the link on the YouTube description. We want to know what you're keeping secret, and it's all anonymous. So we'll read through those like we have in the past, except it'll look a little bit nicer, and hopefully we'll have things a little bit more laid out. So please, even in this very description, there is the link to the confessions form, completely anonymous. And of course, if it's not terms of service friendly, we won't be sharing it. But otherwise, get ready to hear the dirt. So hopefully that lightened the mood just a little bit, but we are bringing back another thing that I've done on the Twitch channel previously, but very, very briefly. This will be a morning-only show. It will likely run more often than some of the other shows, but not very often, because I do plan to air that show live at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, when Daylight Savings Time comes, it'll be Central Daylight Time. But I am really excited to try to help people who are in similar time zones start their day right with a little dose of positivity. Now that one that you just saw is very exciting for me. It's of course called Noted, and what that show will be all about is music. We will have musician guests on. They may be streamers, they may not be streamers, but I am happily looking forward to learning more about the art of music and what it takes to do it on the daily, especially for a living for some of these folks, and so kind of learn their stories and get excited. And then of course we'll have some mini games within there to spice things up just a bit, and we'll test their music knowledge as well. So look forward to that, because I know I am. Now's where it gets a little bit more exciting, because what you just saw is the brand new concept to this channel, and that is a dedicated news show. We will probably be focusing on gaming, tech, and news in the creator sphere, as people call it, the influencers sphere. And I will break it all down for you and give you that rundown you need as often as I can. We would like this show to run as often as possible, but definitely to start, it will not have quite as many daily episodes, but we'll work on it, because things change day to day. We'll see what happens, and that will be the one that has potential to have breaking news, not just when I get a raid on the Twitch channel. So I'm really looking forward to that, but most of all, am I looking forward to the next thing. So you might be wondering what the heck it is you just saw an intro to. Well, this this is the motivation behind pretty much everything that we're doing here on the channel. And of course, to be clear, before I tell you all about what this is, everything that I will air live on my Twitch stream will then be put on YouTube as its own show. So look forward to that. It will probably happen 24 to 48 hours after the stream, depending on how quickly I can get them chopped and uploaded. But the whole reason any of this is happening is because of what I really want to do. So a lot of people get asked the question, what would your dream job be? And for a long time, I didn't really have a good answer to that. But in the last couple of years, I figured it out. My dream job would be, very simply, to be a syndicated game show host. That's right. So I thought, what better way to try my hand at being a game show host than to create my own game show. As you know, Twitchillionaire is its own beast. It is a spin-off, if you will, of another show that already exists, but Variance will be my very own designed from scratch game show. Of course, it's going to have your classical game show elements, but there will be a bit of chance in each of them. It will be a staggered 3-round show, where if you do well in round 1, round 2 will be a little bit easier. But if you don't do well, or you don't get lucky, round 2 will be a little bit more difficult. So I'm looking forward to that. More details to come. That show will not likely premiere with everything else, as it takes a lot of work, and I've been working on it for a long time to try to get things done. I haven't told anybody what's going on besides my very own mother. For those of you who don't know, a lot of my childhood was spent with my mother. When we went to my grandmother's house, her mother's house, she had the Game Show Network, and we loved watching all kinds of game shows. So it really takes me back, and I've always loved the idea of hosting one. And we'll have to figure out what to do in terms of prizing, in terms of incentive to play. But what I'm aiming for is to have fun. I want people to come to the show because they genuinely enjoy the content of the game show and the little bit of chance that it offers. So hopefully we can get this all done quickly. I will not, in this very instance, be announcing a specific start date. However, it will be very soon, and I anticipate having at least several of the shows launched before the end of 2020. With that, I bid you a good day and look forward to seeing you over at twitch.tv/VaryGoode. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Wear a frickin' mask and be safe.